guys, I'm here with you today to talk about a book review. The book that I'm talking about is the tried and true The Five Love Languages. I'm laughing because this book is so popular. You know, when couples come in and they talk about some of their strengths, a lot of the times people bring up that they explored one another's love languages, and I'm here to give you my review. And spoiler, I have a mixed review. I have some pros of this book and of this resource, and there's also some cons that I want to address. Why don't we start with a introduction to the book? It is written by Gary Chapman. There's a bio here on the back of the book. There's good old Gary. Let's check out his quick bio here. Author, speaker, and counselor, has a passion for people and for helping them form lasting relationships. He is the best-selling author of the Five Love Languages series and the director of Marriage and Family Life Consultants, Inc. Gary travels the world presenting seminars, and his radio programs air on more than 400 stations. For more information, visit fivelovelanguages.com. So, of course, the five love languages are quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation. What am I missing? Gift giving and physical touch. And as you go through the book, he goes through a description of what each love language is, how you can identify it, and then he has quizzes that you can take to see how they rank. So let's dive into the content here a little bit. I liked a quote that's found right at the very beginning, really on page 15. He says, "The number of ways to express love within a love language is limited only by your imagination." I love that. Really cute and clever. A small little blurb to inspire you to be creative in expressing love to your partner. The idea behind love languages is when you know your partner's love language, you can communicate to that love language. The same thing in reverse. So if I know my partner's love language, then when they are using that love language, even if it's not my own, I can try to be aware of them trying to communicate that love and connection to me. So there's a good piece of awareness there, not only for what you need and how you feel love, but when your partner is trying to communicate their love language to you as well. In this book, at the very back, the last two chapters are the five love languages for him and the five love languages for her. So as you go through, you can take the quiz. So this is for him there. And you go through and you answer each of these questions. And at the very end, you score how many you got for each love language. And it's just the highest is your love language. And I like that as a resource, and it is also exclusive. So if you are LGBTQ, obviously the two chapters for being him and her are exclusive to you. If you are in a heterosexual relationship, it's a benefit because it changes the language for each question. So, for example, for her, one of the questions is, "It's more meaningful to me when he and I hug." So it makes it pronoun specific. But again, that's exclusive if you are not in a heterosexual relationship. That brings me to a good point of Gary Chapman. He does write from a very Christian background, so a lot of his books bring up religion. A lot of the resources do too. So if that is something that either you have a different religion or that's something that you just don't want to read about as you're trying to explore this, then I probably wouldn't recommend this book. What I would recommend as an alternative is their app. They have a Five Love Languages app, and the only way I like this app is for the quiz. They have a second part. It's called like, oh, I can't, Love Tank or like Love Bucket, or I think Tank maybe. And it's like when I feel love and my partner does this, my love tank will rise and go up, and you can share your profile with your partner. When you think about it, that sounds awesome that you can communicate like, oh, I kind of need a pick me up. I could use your help. But the negative side of that, and this is why I don't recommend it, is that it can also cause a lot of harm. If you have a fight, or, if your partner's having a stressful day and all of a sudden they get a notification that, your love tank went down to 10%, oh, ouch. There's other ways, more effective more effective ways to benefit your relationship, to communicate that you want some connection without it being harmful and hurtful to your partner and to your relationship. So utilize the app for the questions. It will automatically score it for you. Feel free to share that profile with your partner. And then I recommend uninstalling the app. I would not keep that on your phone. If you do, just definitely do not use the Love Tank or whatever it's called, Love Bucket. I'm not sure. Whatever that portion of the app is, just leave that guy out. The next part of my review is just about the 5 love languages in general. I, of course, recommend knowing one another's love language. The side that I wish more people talked about is that it's not the end all be all solution. That if I know my partner's love language, that all of a sudden, there's rainbow and butterflies in our relationship. And yes, it can be helpful to connect with your partner using love languages. However, it's not everything. There are other things that need to be addressed. If there's a conflict that needs to be managed, it needs to be managed. And having those love languages are effective way to connect, but that doesn't really address how to manage that conflict. So, yes, I recommend knowing one another's love languages. However, there's other skills that also need to be developed when, this isn't really the whole picture. The next thing to discuss is knowing your partner's love language. If you haven't taken the quiz before, I do recommend taking it. Or if it's been a while, I recommend retaking the quiz because they can change and be, they're fluid. Uh, from here, when you take the quiz, I recommend that you look for clusters. Sometimes people just look for that number one love language, which is great. However, I've also noticed a lot of the times they're clustered. So number one and number two, or number two and number three, can be really close together. And the benefit of knowing that is it can help your partner be more successful in communicating to your love language. If the number one isn't something that they're super, super successful at, but your second is super close, that can be a way to help them be more successful in connecting with you. So I do recommend taking the quiz. You can do that through the book, you can do that online through their website, or you can do that through the app. In summary of the 5 love languages, I recommend it kinda, right? So definitely know your partner's love language. Huge, huge way to communicate that love to your partner. A con of that though is the language. I think it's strongest in the book. So if you want to explore love languages and you are LGBTQ, or if you do not identify as Christian, this book is going to be the strongest language use of that. So I would recommend more of the app or the website to take that quiz. In addition to the app, like I said, do not use that Tanker Bubble. Huge con of that app. I wish I could recommend that more to clients, but that's just something that can be more harmful than successful in your relationship. And lastly, the last big con is that people talk about love languages like it's the end all be all. Like this is the solution to connection in your relationship. And while this is a helpful tool, it is not the only tool. When you have other struggles in your relationship, there are more tools that you need to build or need to communicate with your partner in order to be more successful and in order to have that really strong connection that you are longing for. So overall, I'd give this book like out of 5 stars, maybe like three, maybe 3.5, because it's a good resource. I just wish there could be some tweaks there to make that even more effective for couples. If you're new here, hi, my name is Emily, and I am a relationship coach here at the Couples Workshop. I put out videos like this about once a month. I try to do some book reviews, and then I also do weekly quick tip videos to help you reconnect within your relationship. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll talk soon.